Happy 29 December, everybody. Welcome to Fire for Effect Live. I'm Chris. Here, I got to put up this thing so you know who I am. There we go. Look how fucking checked out that is. Nobody on yet. I'm going to rattle through my sponsors and I'll bring in my band of pirates here. Pretty low-key show tonight. Going to be pretty relaxed. You know, we're dealing with the Christmas hangover. Everybody's gearing up for whatever the fuck you're allowed to do or whatever you're gonna do on New Year's Eve. I don't know. I'm still actually I got a DJ coming over and I'm gonna be we're gonna be live on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch, look for the Roach Motel Mix Show and join myself and DJ Derek Allen from 95.7 Cruise FM in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we're just gonna fuck around and get shit-faced and spin some tunes for everybody because all the bar rules and shit here have changed. You can't, bars got to close early. Alcohol stop service at 11 o'clock. That's going to work out really well at 12:30, but all the bars shut at the same time and all these drunk drivers and assholes are on the road because they can't get a fucking Uber or a taxi. That's my predictions. So I opted out. I'm going to stay home. We got a listener. We got a few right on. Good to see. Give me a couple seconds, everybody. Again, I'm running my own board here. Fire for Effect and Fire for Effect Live are brought to you by the Dean Blundell Network. Hang on, I got to turn that off. Fuck's sakes. Go to deanblundell.com, Canada's largest digital source of sports news and podcasts. You'll find my podcast there as well as tons of other ones. All good. Check them all out. Lots of entertainment. And if you're looking for sports news and haven't fucking figured it out yet, the World Juniors are canceled. I was going to be all dressed up in my Team Canada shit. Hopefully watching them blow out Germany tonight, but that's fucking her for that. We'll talk about that a little later on. We're also brought to you by Positive Mike's Brewing Company. Positive Mike's Brewing. You can get the gear. Look up Positive Mike on all your social media platforms. He's got all kinds of fucking cool swag. At present, you can't get the beer. I can get the beer, and I got to tell you, myself and my house guest, Mr. Bonzi, have been going through a fair amount of Mike's beer. It's fucking off the chains. My man Jeff None and his family out at Lakeside Farmstead. Lakeside Farmstead is a local farm north of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. They make a lot of dairy products, and they are also one of the only local producers for Wagyu X beef, which is fucking amazing. Check out Lakeside Farmstead. You can find them and their products online through various retailers, and you can find them in some of the local stores in the Edmonton area if you're here. Also brought to you by my man and the topic of tonight's conversation, Mr. Bryce Hooper. If you're looking for medicinal marijuana solutions and guidance and advice on it, Bryce is your man for all things medicinal marijuana and other alternatives to conventional burn your liver out medicines. So without further ado, let's bring in the crew. What's going on, gents?
What's shaking? How are you?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Morgan's texting in work. Can I come back yet?
Yeah. Am I allowed to pull the trigger yet? Can I do it? Can I do it?
How was Christmas? What'd you guys do? Bryce, what'd you guys do? Sit around and get blazed or what?
Yeah, I actually I got to pick up my two offspring at noon. And then we headed out to some family, and we spent the afternoon just kind of enjoying the company and enjoying the medicines thereof. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I fucking dig the new wallpaper. What does that say? I can't read backwards.
It says fucking magical.
Where the fuck did you get that, man?
That's actually a gift from one of my offspring.
Nice.
They decided to help me out in the podcast part of things and wanted to get a background that I could throw in there. I honestly don't know where they got it, but they also paired it with a couple pairs of cannabis socks. And then you can tell that psilocybin or my mushrooms are always a good choice of an antidepressant, a mood stabilizer, and stuff like that too. So,
hang on, I gotta punt some fucking Russian hacker off of here, man.
It's
Fuck
happened
you,
again,
dude.
eh? You're
Hey,
such a
they
heat
fucking
for that.
they showing up on everybody's shit, and they say the same thing. Russian hackers.
Wild. That's interesting.
Anyway, fuck. What are you gonna do,
Yeah,
Morgan? What
exactly.
did you do, dude? Did you get that shitter done yet?
Oh, I don't think we can hear him.
He's on mute. Come on, infantry.
Okay, yeah, right on.
There
Yeah,
you go.
leave me alone. I said, no. First of all, I did not do anything with the shitter. It is good. It's good to go as is, as you can see. So I'm
I
just going to
love
leave well enough alone. No, over Christmas it was nice. Had all the in-laws over on Christmas Day, and yeah, my in-laws, pretty much all got shit-faced, and we had a good time.
So that's about your standard.
Standard Western Canadian Christmas, you know. So it was nice.
Awesome, man. Did you get any cool fucking shit or what?
No, not really. I tell people, I'm like, I don't want anything for Christmas. I don't want anything, period. Because I mean, I think all of us have way too much shit anyway. So if someone's like, "What do you want?" I was like, socks and underwear, because I'll eventually use it. But anything short of that, I'm like, it's just going to take up room in my house. I don't want it. I'm an adult. If I want to purchase something, I'll just buy it myself. So I really don't care.
Positive Mike. Yeah, he does actually do the shitter podcast. Yeah,
I do. Yeah. Like I said, man, and it's even blue, like the inside of a blue rocket. So it's even better here.
I love it, man.
I'm so institutionalized. I'm in a shit right now.
If
that's
Morgan,
the only way to relax, or what?
if fucking Morgan had his own pod, it'd be like Tales from the Blue Rocket.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like,
right? Be a fucking
perfect.
awesome name, man.
Yeah. I should change my name from Morgan Warren to, like I said, the Blue Rocketeer.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Stand like this all the time.
You can go in and change your shit anytime you want.
I'll change it next time. Yeah.
Sean wants to be called the Poopy Podcast.
Poop. Yeah. First of all, Sean's been here since day one. I mean, does that guy have a monkey shit green T-shirt? Yeah, because if he doesn't, he should, because that's a travesty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Macombium green. Yeah, fucking right.
Sean's always here.
Yeah, I'll hook him up.
Yeah.
I got fucking hoodies coming sometime. So for Christmas, I got two things for myself. A 6-hour 1911 Scorpion, because I fucking needed that.
Obviously.
It's a fucking dope gun. And then I had this retro game console, this cheap little fucking thing, but there's lag on it. So I just ordered one of those big fuckers with the actual joystick and the 6 buttons. Right? Like I need this in my life.
Old school. Yeah, absolutely, dude, man.
Fucking I'm an 8-bit guy. I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
I got a PlayStation 4 and these fucking games, there's 86 buttons on it. And you got to learn all. There's no fucking way. I can't do it.
No.
Yeah. Right. So like, I need fucking Frogger. Move the frog to the other end.
Yeah.
No buttons. Fucking nothing. Joystick. Boom, 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 boom. Done. Yeah. So that was it. So what's going on for New Year's? Anything special now that we're all these rules come into play again?
Yeah, Morgan, what are your plans, dude? I got nothing.
Well, New Year's, I kind of slough it off because New Year's is my wife's birthday. So, so I'm kind of like hands off. I'm like, whatever she wants, it's game time. So,
are you like that cheap cunt that says, well, this is your Christmas and your birthday present?
No, that's
yeah, that's the best way to sit in the doghouse for the rest of the year. That's for sure.
Even if she was to say like, don't worry about it, I'm like, no, I'm still going to do something because we all know nothing good's going to come out of that, you know.
Yes, Mike, I did, and thank you very much. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, like, I guess with regards to like Christmas gifts, and like I said, I don't really do Christmas gifts like for myself, and I don't want people to give me Christmas gifts because I'll just buy whatever I want. I mean, as you know, Chris, about a month ago, I made a purchase of a third Harley Davidson motorcycle because, like, I mean, everybody needs at least 3 Harleys.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
wild.
So I mean, who is going to say, "Hey, baby, can I get some Christmas gifts?" So I got myself something.
That thing's got a 96 in it, doesn't it?
No, it's an 88 with a cam.
Oh, snap!
Okay, yeah. I was gonna buy that bike, but nope. You got it, and I'm happy.
I got it. Yeah,
I'm happy. An actual army guy got it. Does it still got the fucking 1 Brigade saddle on it?
No, I took the 1 Brigade seat off of it, and I actually got it framed, and I brought it back to After Dark, and I put an After Dark seat on it.
That's fucking
Oh,
cool.
nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
Oh,
man,
that is
so
that, you got the is that tan one that was sitting there for a while? Nice.
camel toe. That's
Okay,
ADM one.
camel toe, yeah.
That's the first fucking chopper they made ever.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's a nice
thought
piece
it
of kit.
everybody thought it said fucking admin 1 on it. No,
Yeah. Well, all Army guys, we all thought it said Admin 1. But
that's what I thought it said.
Yeah.
No, it's
you're
After
like,
Dark
no.
Motorcycles #1, which
1,
makes sense.
yeah.
Wow.
So
It's a fucking cool bike, but me and Cordell could not agree on a number.
yeah.
But I'm glad you got it because some guy I believe in you might know dumped the fucking thing.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I think I know 1, maybe 2 guys that actually dumped that thing.
Oh, it's been dumped more than once. Wow.
I think twice, but I think the one was like a proper dump, and the other one was just it kind of fell over in the parking lot.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that
usually in
fucking
front of
thing,
15
that thing's
people.
been fucking hoard out, man. I mean,
yeah.
and kudos to Cordell. Kudos to
Yeah.
Cordell and After Dark Motorcycles in Edmonton for
Yeah.
lending it to veterans and military guys to take on rides and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's when I bought this thing.
Joy.
Yeah, when I bought that thing, like I had no, there was no misconceptions. I knew exactly everything that it had been through. Like, yeah, so I know where I stand when I bought it, right? So I just, I'm kind of at the end of my career now. I was like, I need a Christmas / birthday / St. Patrick's Day / retirement gift, and so I bought it for myself.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
Cool. We
Yeah.
got a guest sitting in the green room.
Cheers to your retirement as well.
Oh yeah. Cheers to your retirement, bro.
Yeah.
For now.
For now, anyway. Yeah, watch and shoot.
Let's we're gonna bring in our first guest, ladies and gentlemen. Our civvy guest today is Mr. Tanner Stewart. We'll get into what he is and what he does. I'm gonna bring him in. There he is. There's our man. Tanner, how's she going on the East Coast, bud?
Got on mute. How's she going, boys? It's going pretty good. I just enjoying some Christmas time with the with the family, and after one of the most intense years in my life and business so far. Every it's the cliche we joke, every year in cannabis is 10 years in the real world. So it was just another 10 years that went by. But it's going pretty good here. It's not minus 40. That's good.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you guys got some new technology in New Brunswick. Ladies, for everybody watching this, New Brunswick just got VCRs.
Yeah, we did. And they're not just
kids are watching the VCR, the plug-in one that comes built into the TV. That's some high-tech shit.
It's an all-in-one TV VCR. You guys don't have that in Alberta yet? Like the all-in-one TV VCR? With
No, man.
Oh,
man. You got to bootleg one out here.
Yeah. We're a good 10 years behind everybody in Alberta.
I got a box of VHS cassettes in my basement. I'm going to bring out next August.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch your kids at this age get excited about that. Like, because at my mom's house here, they have, she has a couple drawers full of those old Disney VHS tapes, and it's nice watching them kind of rummage through it and open it up and look at it and jam it in the TV. Like there's something, I miss that a lot of days. As opposed to like scrolling through Netflix and just clicking on one of the million things. You don't know what you're gonna watch, right? You're like, here's my options, right?
Yeah, you can pick on the picture right in front of it.
The kids are like, Daddy, can we get a DVD player next year? Anyway, awesome to have you, man. I know it's a little later out there, so I'm going to kind of, and I don't want to fuck this up. I'm going to tell you what I've researched on you, and I know you and Bryce kind of know each other better. Tanner is the
once or twice.
founder and CEO of Stewart Farms, which is a aquaponic thing. Fuck. So, explain what you do, because I know there's fish.
Yeah.
and then there's weed, and I'm like, I got a million questions on this. So I'll let you, for the viewers' own edification, kind of brief them on what exactly it is that you guys do, how you got into it, like what, like I don't know anything about you, obviously, so I'm
Yeah,
curious
no,
to your
and
path to get there. Like, how did this start, and all that good shit.
well, yeah, no. Hey, and listen. First off, let me thank you guys for having me on here to tell that story. But yeah, I guess it was it's like a story of kind of there and back again. So my relationship with cannabis started like many when I was a bit younger in back in high school. Found myself though out in the oil sands in Alberta as a young East Coaster. There's a few of us East Coasters that left New Brunswick to land in Fort McMurray, I hear, over the last few decades. So I kind of did that. And I ended up as an entrepreneur in Edmonton in construction. I started as a pipe fitter out there, bought a welding truck when I was 20 years old, built that operation from zero to like 110 tradespeople in like 6 years. Did a few business deals, got knocked around a few times, had some ups, had some downs. Then ended up in vertical farming and aquaponics. So I got introduced to this company out in Edmonton called Nutriponics, and they were farming leafy greens. So they were doing kale and Swiss chard and arugula and all that great stuff. And I don't know if you can enable me to share screen, but I could show you. I can show you guys some of this stuff as I'm talking, because I find it.
I don't know. I don't think I can do that, man. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, we won't do that. I'll use my powers of verbalization. But
Yeah.
anyways, no. So I started in leafy greens, kale, arugula, Swiss chard, and that was this company I got introduced to out in Edmonton.
So you're like a full East Coast hippie then.
Yeah, well, I guess an East Coast hippie who runs a company in the oil sands. So very like.
That's my kind of hippie.
I believe in Canadian energy, and I also believe we should use less plastic. I can do both of those things at the same time.
I 100% agree.
Yeah. So no, I fell into this company, and they introduced me to the farming methodology of farming fish and farming vegetables or food in a singular system. And when you marry fish farming with horticulture, producing any sort of plant, they just call it aquaponics. So it's the meeting of aquaculture and hydroponics is really what it is. So I went in there to this company and I ate the lettuce and I ate the spinach and I ate the kale, and the arugula was unlike anything I had ever tried in my entire life. It tasted like spicy, like horseradish. And I was like, is this what leafy greens are supposed to taste like? Is this I was like, what is this actually? And I fell instantly in love with it. And being an East Coaster, you love fish by default. So I'm like, fish with food, with lettuce, of course, it makes perfect sense. So anyways, I got into that for like 3 years. I ran that company, put a lot of money into it, and then learned a lot. We were selling leafy greens to TNT Market in Edmonton, and Lucky 97s, and we were supplying our live tilapia to those same markets, because anywhere there's a good Asian market, you have a live fish market, and honestly, we were getting a great price per pound. People loved the product. But anyways, in 2018, I was home for Christmas and smoke in Miramichi, New Brunswick here, and smoking a joint on my back porch, thinking, I've been smoking weed for 15 years, and I've been eating lettuce for 5. And I think that I have a lot more to offer in the cannabis industry, but with the same methodology, right?
And you like fish.
And I love fish. And it adds, and it's not just the liking of it, it's that it adds a quality to the product that can only be understood through the actual engagement with either the leafy green or the tomato that was grown or the cannabis. It's more, there's more flavor. It's living water, right? So it's
So
like
what
living soil. And
what the hell's that sound? Morgan, low tech Morgan. What kind of fish are you using?
we're using tilapia right now. So it's just it's a black Nile tilapia from Lake Nasser in Egypt. That's where our genetics are from. It's a warm water fish, so it's 28-degree
Wow.
fish. Very, very easy to farm. Very harder to kill, but we have a very high quality genetic. Later, we'll probably be headed to a coho salmon, I would say, but for now, we're doing all of our early research, and that's what I've been farming with also for the last 5 or 6 years. So we're going to continue improving the nutrient output of the fish system. So ultimately, to end the kind of story of how we farm, it's we take the fish water and the fish nutrient, and we feed it live, into in our current system at Stewart Farms. We use living soil, so we're mixing living soil with living water. We have the fish farms separate. We look after the fish. They're probably some of the happiest fish in North America. They're just fertilizer cows right now. So we're not even, if the tank gets too crowded, I'm going to start eating them, even though I like them, but they're good. So we're going to eat a couple.
Yeah, because if for everybody watching this or listening later, I put a link in the website to Tanner's webpage, and there's this awesome, like, built for people with my brain mentality, animated thing that shows how this works. Like the fish are all happy in the water. It looks fucking great. And then you say they cough? Like, I would have thought they shit,
No, they do. Yeah. Did I say cough? Did I?
It says cough on the website. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not what it is.
Oh, that was one of my that was my copywriter being funny. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck, man. There's no way.
That's how I didn't write it, because if I wrote it, it would have been shit, and then in brackets poopy. I would have put poopy after shit.
And then you grow the weed, cannabis. In that's amazing. That's fucking amazing, man. That's like about as sustainable as green as you can get for all you hippies out there.
So in weed terminology, I like, so when I bring people into the fish room, which is always one of the funnest parts of the tour, right? I end the tour in the fish room, and I say, here's the stinkiest part of the tour, and not in a good way, because we just left we probably just left the curing room where we were like smelling some of the greatest weed, that came from this fish manure. But we go in there, and sometimes I introduce it as a fertilizer factory, right? And other times I introduce it as a tea factory, which is really like having a live feed cannabis tea system at all times. You want microbes? I got microbes, not like right now. And that's really what the fish system is. It's a micro and macronutrient fertilizing system that is full of microbes right now. There's no making the tea and keeping the microbes alive. So you have an at your disposal microbiome at any given time. I call it my in-house microbial mass, right? So.
Okay. I'll keep pretending like I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Man, I wish we could show.
Hey, Mom, get out of this. Mom, I'm on a podcast, Mom. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing.
Go ahead, Bryce.
No, man. I wish there was a way we could show the facility and what Tanner actually does. I can't wait for you, Chris, to actually get out there next year. And
dude, I'm gonna do a fucking pod from out there and get high as fuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And just take in the sights of his shop. It's absolutely amazing. From what those original pictures that you had shown me, Tanner, to what it's turned into now. It's kind of cool to see your first year in production. You've got your licensing and everything else downrange now. And now you just get to see the fruits of your hard labor for the last several years.
Yeah. It's nice to see it. I feel the same way, right? Also, I go into the facility, and And what I see is like this fantastic team, like that's brought this place to life. We're only operating at 10,000 square feet. So I'll describe the facility for your viewers. It's 10,000 square feet. I've only got 5 grow rooms. We're a full LP, but we've got a small phase 1 built out right now. But in this facility, I got about 25 full-time people that are obsessed with cannabis. They love it. Not all of them. Maybe not all of them are obsessed, but the majority of them absolutely love what they're doing. They love weed, right? We used to call it weed back in the day.
yeah, because it grows everywhere. That's the best part. I mean, hell, you can grow it with plant. You can grow it with the fish. So
yeah, and you go in there and you'll see it when you're there. I got a crew making pre-rolls, right? And they're busting out these beautiful little cones, and they're cratering the ends and weighing them out, and and I know where that's going to end up. You go in another room. I got a whole team. They got music playing. Oh, there's where it's going to be. Yeah. They got music playing. They're making bath bombs. They're making bath salts. I go into the next rooms. I got my cultivators. They're in there. We pheno hunt, right? We have one of the largest genetic libraries in the industry. So we're doing a little more than just pumping out weed. We're actually exploring genetics, which is even more exciting. So if you went into my facility in late January, you're going to see over 120 different phenos in 2 different rooms. When you put about 60 different cannabis strains per room, and when you go into a room and you look at 60 different, classes of genetics that are all near their end of their flowering stage, and you had no idea what you were starting with, other than seeds, that's when you really start getting to know, cannabis for how it grows and its structure. And that's all we've been doing since April 2020. I had so many people be like, Tanner, just get in there. Don't worry about genetics. Don't worry about, just get in there, grow 1 strain, pump out make some money. And listen, they're not wrong. We could have done that.
Yeah.
Bryce,
this is
Bryce is going to have to steer this fucking interview, man, because you're way out of my league. It's amazing shit. So I'm going to, Bryce, you got to drive here, bro.
All right, no worries, man.
I want to know, but before we get into the technical, yeah, man, I don't know. People just drop weed off my house and I fucking smoke it or give it.
Well, just think about it this way. He's exploring the different genetics. What he's trying to explain to you is that when you're smoking THC, there's going to be a difference between sativa or an indica or a hybrid leaning either way, where it's going to be like a Red Bull or a coffee or a NyQuil or a red wine, or that. He's actually trying to isolate those different strains so that way when he produces a bath bomb or when he produces his next pre-roll, he's actually able to guide the experience that you're having with that specific strain or that specific cultivar. Because now when he's growing it and culturing it, he gets to control the atmosphere around that plant and then change it to his specifications. And then it becomes a whole different plant from what he started from as well.
Yeah,
we're just hunting.
Wow.
Just hunting new genetics, so
that's heavy. There's some heavy science behind this that I just thought people just grew fucking weed like my old man does out in his backyard.
Some people do, right? Some people do, man. Some people they just become that big geek and they want more to it, and they want to be able to help hundreds of thousands of people with different kinds of weed.
So I guess that's the direction I want to go here is who's your audience? Like, do you wholesale this out? I know you're regulated, if that's the right word.
Mm-hmm.
And you sell to the retail weed market. Is that right? Or talk to me about your audience.
Yeah. So we didn't, our first product wasn't weed at all. It was bath bombs. I became quite I'll use the word blessed because I got this shirt I was given at a weed conference that I'm wearing here right now. So I was quite blessed to have a herbalist approach me, and I was actually looking for a herbalist, but ironically 2 years ago she approached me at the same time I was seeking her out. So I mean, I don't know what you call that, but that's a little bit serendipitous, I guess. And she said, listen, I've been developing topicals and bath bombs and bath products and all this stuff for about 14 years now. And I'd like to work with a weed company. And I was like, I'm looking for somebody to make bath bombs. And the reason, guys, I decided to make bath bombs in the early days of Stewart Farms was as a giveaway. Because I wanted to teach people about terpenes. I wanted to teach people about the different essential oils in weed. So we were making like Blue Dream, Bubba Kush, and Trainwreck. So I had this idea, and I needed a herbalist. So we met. I hired her.
So these are weed bath bombs?
These are weed bath bombs. Yeah. So
wow.
So I kind of gave her the vision. She slapped it together amazingly. And then, a year after that, lo and behold, we just get our license. And I realized, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm going to be quite a while here before I can get weed in the market, because we got to grow it. We're hunting genetics. We're not just, we're not, we got to figure out what we're putting out. Where are we putting it out? And also because I love cannabis and I want, we want to put out great products or just like decent products that we're going to sell for a really good price. It was just really important for me to not just jump into the weed market immediately. Then I realized, I was like, oh my God, we can sell bath bombs all over the country. Like right now, it's manufacturing, right? So It became our lead product. So we sold, over 100,000 bath bombs across Canada in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick. That was last December. So my entire fiscal year last year was like 80% bath bomb revenue and very little weed. So today, this Christmas, we just launched 10 new topical SKUs, like a bunch of new bath bombs, pain creams, really affordable, like $24.99 or under, depending on what province you're in. The highest potency, balanced, two flavors of topicals. In Alberta, we launched turmeric and arnica and lavender and arnica, and they're a pocket size 500 milligram of cannabinoids. So 250 THC, 250 CBD in 25 grams. So like in every gram. So it's like by far highest potency, highest quality topicals or pain creams in Canada, and affordable, right? Because it was important. We're going real thin margins because, and we just did a huge price drop on our bath bombs too in Alberta. Alberta's our biggest market. Alberta, we got our bath bombs. They took all 10 of our new SKUs, our salt soaks, our pain creams, our Christmas bath bombs, as well. So anyways, topicals became a huge and the most important earliest part of Stewart Farms last year when we hit the market, because I could just manufacture them and I can get into every province. Today, on top of the topicals, we've added weed, pre-rolls, and flowers. So we just got 7 listings in BC for flower SKUs. We're not in Alberta yet for weed. That'll be probably soon. 4 to 6 months probably. But we're in Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, so we're pretty happy with what's going on right now.
Positive Mike has the obvious question that it's on my mind as well. What do these do?
Like, why, Mike? I'm glad you asked. What do these do?
Glad you asked.
So just listen, I got to give my mom some credit for this. She actually just brought this into the living room and set it beside me. So this prop was not here if it wasn't for me out here. So I got to give her props. So, and you might actually hear my kids crying right now. So this is our Douglas fir bath bomb here. This was one of our Christmas launches, and it literally is like having a bath in a tree, which is kind of cool. But you throw it in the tub, you run a real nice hot bath, minimum 30 minutes, 45 is what you're aiming for, but you run a nice hot bath, 30 to 45 minutes. 45 minutes or longer is better because you're soaking in it, right? Because you're soaking in it. You've diluted 100 to 200 milligrams of cannabinoids into a bathtub. What it does, it varies from person to person, but it smells amazing. You're going to get really relaxed. So you get some aromatherapy. You're going to get very relaxed. With our bath bombs, you're going to get moisturized. We put a ton of moisturizing butters in each bath bomb. So your skin's going to feel really good. When you get out of the bath, you're going to smell great. And a lot of people have reported, so this is where it gets dicey, you know, with me talking about, but lots of great feedback from our customers. You know, best sleep of my life. We had a couple bud tenders report back to us with their psoriasis. You know, made my skin feel great, helped me with my irritation.
Absolutely.
You know, we had some arthritis patients try them. Some people with restless leg syndrome. We had some of that. Some people with that try it. But this is all just anecdotal feedback that we've been getting from our customers. But
Can I get high?
So you know, you'll feel it, but no, not you don't get high at all.
Absolutely.
It might be the equivalent to a Tylenol, maybe. You know, like
it'd be like a very long hot tub stay, because your skin is going to be your largest organ. It's going to soak in differently. Yeah, Tanner, tell us at what locations or do you know who
a lot
recreational carries them right now?
A lot of the Novacan or most of the value buds, I would imagine, carry us. The Spirit Leafs, a lot of the Spirit Leafs would carry us as well. Hopefully some of the Chooms, Queen of Bud, I think as well. Just depends on where you guys are. And if you're in New Brunswick, all the Cannabis NBs.
You got to go to a weed shop. You got to go to a weed shop. You can't go to what the fuck was that popular bath salt store in the 90s and shit? What the fuck?
Oh, Lush.
Those wouldn't have them. Yeah.
Lush,
whatever.
No, none of that.
You can't.
You got to go to a weed store.
Are you wholesaling to shoppers yet?
No, but we are working on that specifically for you know, we want to really work on plugging into the veterans community here over the next little while. So we are definitely working towards hopefully getting listed on shoppers. And our salt soaks will be there too. We want to get our whole catalog on there.
Yeah.
And you know, so that's really a goal for 2022 as early as possible.
Oh, I think the benefit from it is that people are going to realize that they're going to be able to soak in a hot bath for an hour, and it's going to be like a 4-hour hot tub. Your body is going to be completely relaxed. Then you add the THC into it, where it's not going to affect your mind, but it's going to affect the largest organ on your body, which is your skin, and then it just absolves in through that point.
Maybe in years. Anyway,
you know, guys, and jokes aside, like
fucking wild, man.
Yeah, it's mental health, right? So like one of like selling. Okay, so this is our holiday peace pack, right? It's a triple pack, and in here, this was a lot of fun. We did it for Christmas, so it was Douglas Fir, 3 Kings, and apple pie. So those are the 3 Christmas bath bombs, 200 milligrams each, right? So 100 CBD, 100 THC. We prefer balanced because it just works better. Like we're doing some pure CBD products, but we find just balance works better. So that's where we lean.
Yeah.
But it's 3 hours of mental health.
Okay.
You know?
What's 3 Kings smell like? Because immediately I'm thinking about 3 Arab guys riding on a camel for like
That's actually what it smells like.
You know?
It smells like we got a little bit of camel. No, it's very floral. It's gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right? So it's like this is the floral one. Then the apple pie is cinnamon apple, obviously, right? And the Douglas Fir is like a pine tree, right? They're all under Stewart Farms, so they're all under the Stewart Farms brand there, Sean.
There you go.
But what it is it's 3 hours of mental health in here, right? You know, if you do an hour, that's what I try to tell everybody to do. But it's get in the tub, have an experience, even if it's 30 minutes, it's fine. It's better than nothing. It's some alone time, and it feels great, and there's some effect behind here. And even for myself, you know, I didn't become an avid bath bomber until we started making bath bombs. You know, like a lot of people. And now it's like you know, if it's a real bad week, it might be 3 times a week. It just depends on what's going on.
Well, you're trying to sell baths to a bunch of dudes.
My man Sean there, he needs some alone time in a tub with some floral shit going on.
Yeah.
Fucking rage down. So,
well, the best part about it, a bath bomb, is you can pair it with a cannabis drink and a vape. I mean, you can make it a whole experience at that point too, if you wanted to. While you're at that rec store, grab yourself or a Positive Mike's beer. Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Make it a
Mike
whole experience.
fucking-
Light a candle, cut your toenails, whatever you have to do, and then soak.
Yeah.
I gotta get Mike on the show to talk about his beer next, since we're covering weed
Yeah,
now. This is fucking
absolutely.
great stuff.
It
I don't
really
think-
is. It's like a gift. It's a gift for yourself, you know. Like and obviously my wife was far better at pampering herself and doing these types of things, you know, throughout our marriage to date. But you know, I like candles. I like things that smell nice. I like being in the, you know what I mean. So when I first started doing bath bombs, I was like, I'm lighting some candles right now.
Absolutely, man. Like, I don't give a fuck how much of a hard hitting pipe hitter you are. I like scented candles. I love scented
Yeah, for
candles.
sure.
Who the fuck doesn't?
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't like scented candles, you're full of shit, man. It means you fucking pulled the legs off animals as a kid. And you're fucking. So, how many? So Tanner, like, how many employees do you got? Tell me how big is this operation? Because it sounds like you got a fucking huge market going.
Yeah, we well, you know, we're a small team that can do a lot. Like you know, we launched 20 SKUs. I mean, this is unbelievable, honestly. Like, and I'm bragging about my team here. And you know, we launched 20 SKUs this quarter. 20 SKUs. We have 25.
Explain to everybody what that is.
Oh, sorry. Just 20 different products, like 10 bath bomb products and 10 weed products between pre-rolls and flower. And there's only like 25 people working for the whole entire company. So like, and that is insane, honestly. And it's all because of the team. They're amazing. But we have 16 part-time people. This is very cool. We have 16 part-time people from the local vocational center that work for us. So they're people who would either have a physical or mental disability. So they're categorized as underemployed people. And, you know, they come in for 5 hours. Like, there's 16 of them. So they come in 4, 4, 5 hours a week each, right? But just they all do it on the one day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And they come in and they do our boxes, and well, actually, we're expanding their scopes. We're starting to get them to clean pots. We're getting them to put stickers on boxes and package things. And some of them are going to start working with the plants and stuff like that. So that's really our whole crew right now. And, you know, and in that 25 people, there's 6 of us. I'm in there. I'm included in that 25, you know, in management. So we're just trying to we're doing way more than a company our size typically does in this industry, you know. So, and we're very proud of it. You know,
that's awesome. So I mean, my just a suggestion is, if you can get a list of your retailers across the country on the website, it'd help out. That being, like, we have different weed stores. Fuck, man, Edmonton's got you can't walk 10 feet without tripping over a weed store in this fucking city, man.
I know.
It's like you go to any strip mall and it's the same shit: daycare, pub, adult video store, liquor store, weed store, everywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything you need. A place to look after your kids and the rest of the night, right? You know?
Look, dude, that's amazing. So what you got new ideas or new products that you're thinking of? Like, what direction do you want to go in?
Yeah, we're going to keep, like, we've got a significant pipeline in the bath category. You know, we had our new Seaweed OG salt soaks and our Blueberry Sunset salt soaks that are launching in Alberta in January. So we have Seaweed OG is got real seaweed in it from the Bay of Fundy here in New Brunswick, and Blueberry Sunset has blueberry extract in it. So those are, and you can buy our bulk format, 500 grams with 1,000 milligrams of cannabinoids. So 500 and 500 CBD, 500 CBD, 500 THC. And you get a 500 gram bag of it, right? So a half kg bag of this highly potent either seaweed or blueberry salt soak. And, you know, if you're a real greedy bather, then I don't care. You know, I mean, I hope you put the whole thing in, you know, but you buy one next week too. But, you know, or you've got 4 or 5 like really great baths in there. So we got that. So we're just going to really keep focused as we expand our topicals catalog in the bath category, because that's really important category to us, because, you know, we know what it is and we're good at it. and then pain creams, oils, more, we love topicals. It's the tiniest market in the industry. It's the least appreciated area of cannabis in the industry. It's harder to get, retailers to try your shit, but it's what helps people the most, right?
Yeah.
So that means, to me, that's where we need to stay focused, because, a lot of times the things that everybody kind of shuns off ends up the long game, kind of,
Absolutely.
tighten. So.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that word,
right.
cannabinoid.
Yeah.
It really sounds like the bad guy Transformer or something.
The Decepticon team. That's right.
Right? Cannabinoids, they're coming after me, man. After you have a bad trip or something, smoke too much, you're greening out. You're greening out, and the cannabinoid hordes coming over the fucking hill. That's amazing shit, man. And so, how can people find you? I've got your Instagram handle right here. Hang on, fuck me. But are you on Twitter?
Man, they deleted our Stewart Farms Instagram just last week. We have, we just broke 22,000 followers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me. That's me on Instagram at tannerstewart.life. You can find Stewart Farms on Facebook still at stewartfarms.life. You can follow us there. And YouTube, Stewart Farms has a YouTube channel. We are going to start using it again. We haven't been super active on it in the last little while, but we're start putting that out at stewartfarms.life as well.
Cool. Okay, that's great news, man. We're gonna progress the show, and while you're still here, and you can hang out the whole time. We got a few more things we're gonna cover. This is your opportunity. We have a segment called Ask an Army Guy.
Oh, nice. So
you can ask up to 3 questions to one of us or all 3 of us. So
excellent.
It can be anything. We will fucking unbiasedly and no bullshit give you what the answer to anything. Or at least I will. I'm not in the military anymore. Fucking I'll tell you exactly what it is.
I'm still in the military, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on.
He fucking will. You bet your ass. So yeah.
Okay.
If you got any.
I got one. One of the reasons I was really excited to come on here was to selfishly plug my great grandfather as well. So that's my great grandfather, Merle Stewart, right there,
Okay.
with the reflection of the light coming directly under his face. That's my grandfather. Actually, that was my grandfather right there, Lloyd. I was at his birthday dinner tonight. So, anyways, Merle. Merle joined the Army for World War II, and he was 17, so he lied to get in that year about his age, and he served, and he was in the North Shore Regiment in New Brunswick.
Yep.
So a lot of time in the Netherlands and all those later. Like basically to the end of the war, right? Is when he served. Then he came home. He had medals and he's decorated, and then he couldn't get a pension because he volunteered. Whatever the reasons were, he was originally a volunteer, right? When he went in at 17, and then he got injured. And I was asking my grandfather tonight, because I knew I was coming on this podcast, right? So I'm like, okay, Grap, fill me in again, give me the lowdown on what happened with my great grandfather Stewart. And that was earlier today in the afternoon. Then we were out for dinner. When we were having his birthday dinner tonight, he must have been thinking about it because I brought up his dad earlier in the day, and he was like, those sons of bitches. He said, my dad told me, you know what he was told by my great grandfather who served for our country. He was told, don't worry about Remembrance Day. Don't go hunting. He said, go hunting on Remembrance Day, because that's what happened to my great grandfather. He came home from World War II, and then they wouldn't give him a fucking pension. Right? So he had to fight for years.
Doesn't surprise me though, man.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
So much of a fight.
So that's my question. My question is, is that shit still happening?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to let Bryce take the floor on this, and then
Yeah, you can go first, Bryce.
Yeah, man, that's part of my daily struggles now. Dealing with my pensions, trying to help other people deal with their pensions and their access to their disability pensions and so forth. In short answer, Tanner, yes, it's still very much deny by the same organization that sends you to the conflicts, knowingly that you're going to get injured of some kind.
So is that how it works? They if you don't serve a particular amount of time, and you get injured, you could be short a pension. Does it work like that?
Yeah, exactly, dude. So prime example, I deal with a guy who was short. He served less than 10 years, and 10 years is the magic number for whatever reason, but lost a fucking leg in Afghanistan, and he still has to fight with pensions, with disability issues. I mean, look at the prime example, the guy that it was all over the news for a very long time, Mr. Franklin. He lost both of his legs in an IED strike, and he has to prove to the government every 2 years that his legs didn't grow back with paperwork. Like, I don't know about you, but if my friend of mine who lives just north of the city, when he has to remind the government that he stepped on a landmine every 18 months, that his 1.5 legs are never going to grow back again, is a fucking ridiculous pile of bullshit, to say the least.
Travis.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, that's exactly it. Yeah, the guys that go into the pension, they go into the bureaucrats and they sit for two or three seasons, and all of a sudden they've got a 20-year pension at the end of it all. It makes me sick.
8 years, right? 8 years.
Well, turn this into a fucking rage session, but
well, I got 3. That was only question number 1. Let me ask a more angry one.
Let's
question number 2.
Let's get into number 2.
Okay, so what is it is connected to question number 1, but who what is the percentage of your peers that do leave, when they leave the army, they go, man, that was great, you know, like is it, you know, who does anybody get out
with a smooth transition?
Is there any satisfaction at the end of the day, you know, and what is it, and what do people need to hold on to go into service? You know,
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna fucking take this.
Yeah, that could have been me, but carry on.
No, okay, go ahead, buddy. But let's try to be.
No. You go first.
No. You're on deck, bro.
Okay, yeah. There are some individuals that will leave the army, leave the military, completely happy. They've done 20, 25, 30 years, and they do leave happy. That being said, it's kind of interesting that some guys, that if they do leave injured, there are benefits for individuals that are injured, but guys who leave, we're probably all injured to some degree or another, especially after you do 20 years in the combat trade, or any trade for that matter. But these guys, like a good friend of mine, he released after 20 years. He's a warrant officer, and they asked him, and he went to all of his seminars, and guys who are injured were entitled to this, were entitled to that, and he raised his hand. He said, "Well," he goes, "I don't have any injuries, and according to the Army, there's nothing wrong with me. What benefits do I get?" And they said, "We have nothing for you." So it doesn't really pay. It doesn't pay to leave the Army healthy. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's interesting, but you are much better off leaving, with some type of physical or mental injury from a financial standpoint. Other than that, if you leave with a regular pension, you get your pension, and that's fabulous. If you leave with a medical pension, your pension will be indexed, based on inflation and all that other bullshit. But if you leave healthy, your pension doesn't get indexed.
But I mean, how do you define healthy? Because I'll tell you right now.
I use that term very loosely. Right?
There's no. I'll give you an example. Now I'm going to turn into that fucking guy.
I'm healthy.
I was an artilleryman by trade. I finished my military career with one CER, blowing shit up for a living. That was what I did for 24 years.
Yeah.
They said, I have tinnitus. I know I do, and only you know you do. And my hearing score was too good to equate to some fucking formula that says you have tinnitus. Everything's a formula. Understand that VAC, Veterans Affairs Canada, is a fucking government bureaucratic organization run by civilians, not ex-military guys. Or if they're in there, fuck them, I know. And I'm not shitting on VAC. We've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
But to kind of answer the question here, there is shit in place for guys leaving the military. There's programs available, better than it used to be. Is it perfect? Fuck no. Has it got a long way to go? Fuck yeah. But you've got to work your ass off. It takes time. You need an advocate. I know, Bryce, you know the dude down at the Veterans Association Food Bank who's very good. You need somebody who knows. It's almost like having a lawyer that knows the system, knows how to manage the paperwork. There is no way your average guy releasing from the Canadian Armed Forces is going to be an expert and get all of his or her entitlements. It's by themselves because they don't know the ins and outs of it. And there are fucking countless numbers of service members releasing from the CF that are missing out on entitlements they should be getting. And the government's good with that because it saves the government money that they can send to Africa for fucking gender reassignment or some shit like that. So,
pretty much.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it, man.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
All right. Yeah. So I guess, I'll put that in the cannabis space, and it'll be a Stewart Farms driven question. In the cannabis space, whether in the medical realm, I guess from a personal perspective, what do you guys see there for potential and benefit? And how would you like to see the industry kind of advance for veterans? And do you see anything missing in the medical cannabis space for veterans right now?
This is definitely a Mr. Hooper question.
No, I'd throw it at Morgan. He's brand new in the space too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely,
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll take it. Like, so full disclosure, I'm like, and most people are not going to believe this. I've never used cannabis ever.
I think you should.
Wow.
Even when I was a teenager, like when it was cool and shit, I've never used cannabis ever. However, I know a lot of, and obviously everybody knows a lot of guys that have used cannabis. No big deal. But I also know a lot of guys that have used a lot of prescription drugs, like pharmaceuticals. I shouldn't say prescription drugs, but pharmaceuticals. And I've seen guys spiral absolutely out of control and absolutely ruin their lives. Now, these things they're prescribed by doctors to these guys to help them get better, and short term, sure, it helps them out. But after about 6 months, they get hooked on these things, and then they're spending the rest of their life going to detox and trying to get out of it. So me, as like the non-cannabis user, I see guys that then have been brought into the cannabis scene, for lack of better terms, and and they start using different types of cannabis products, whatever, whether it's bud or whether they're smoking something, whether it's oil, whether it's edibles or whatever, and actually helps them, kind of move away from those pharmaceuticals. And it's really helped these guys out big time. So I guess where I'm going with this is that if I was ever to get a prescription for, say, like an opioid, I'm not afraid of shit, but I'm frightened to death of opioids. Like, if someone's like, here, you need to take these for whatever reason, I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll put that on the shelf. I'd be frightened to death to take it. But with regards to cannabis, if someone's like, yeah, whether it's like a physical injury or a mental injury, and someone's going to prescribe cannabis, I feel much more confident and a lot more safe taking cannabis than I would say like an opioid or some type of manufactured pharmaceutical. So that's my point of view from somebody who like the extent of my drug use is Advil and Tylenol, and coffee and alcohol. There you go. But if I had to choose, I would be much more comfortable with cannabis than I would be with anything else.
Yeah, me too, man. I cannot count the amount of guys that are using medicinal marijuana issued to them, to help them with like fucking back problems. I got a lot of buddies that they get that free weed that we were talking about earlier, and they bring it to my house because they get so much. They're like, I don't need this much weed. Here you go, dude. Fuck, I'm like, right on, man. But I believe,
just
go ahead.
Aside from veterans, like my wife, she's much like myself. She probably hasn't had a good night's she hadn't had a good night's sleep in her whole goddamn life, and she was actually introduced to cannabis, like the oils, and it's one of these things that over the last year, I mean, she's had the best sleep of her life, and it's changed her life. She's a better person for it. So, and that's just like things that I've seen as a I'm just one man, and these are things that I've seen, and I've seen positive effects.
Yeah. Circling back to your question, Tanner, what I'd like to see in the medical side of the world is easier access for veterans. Right now, cannabis is the only medication that you need an exemption letter for. You need to jump through extra hoops after X amount of grams prescribed. That system needs to go the fuck away. That's my personal. There's no clinical. I am not associated with any clinic that's going to have that kind of same thought pattern. But I tell you what, when it comes to, it just adds one more bureaucratic red tape piece that has to fail for the veteran to have to wait an extra 2 weeks, an extra 3 weeks. I know a guy right now. He's jumping his script over from one clinic to another clinic. And with the bureaucratic nonsense of that exemption letter, he hasn't been able to order his life-altering medication since November 5th. We're now heading into the new year. Like, don't get me wrong, his clinic is working as hard and as fast as possible, but it always ends up being the veteran themselves has to call Medi-V Blue Cross or option 2 on your VAC number, and then you have to straighten it out because it's always the extra paperwork that's going to have the extra hiccup. And at the end of the day, the only person that it's hurting is that veteran trying to heal themselves, and all they want is the medication that Tanner and other companies are making in different products and different qualities. I mean, you don't even have to ingest it now. Now you can soak in a tub and let it kind of soak into your organs, go from there, right? I mean, you don't even have to put it inside of your body.
Yeah.
That's the big one. You don't have to smoke it. You don't have to vape it. You don't have to, none of it. Right? Oh. Now it's even, it looks like Tanner's gone.
he'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I think Tanner's bath bombs. Like I'm going on to hunt for these goddamn things tomorrow because
I gotta try them out. I'm not a bath guy. I got this big, huge fucking jet tub thing. It's been turned on like 5 times in 12 years, 13 years. But
sorry, guys. There was some major screaming going on in the kids' room, and nobody was addressing it.
No worries. I was just gonna.
We thought you had to go get some more weed.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like, obviously we've got Christmas and my wife's birthday is on New Year's Eve.
Kel.
And I'm always at a loss, because it's so close. So tomorrow I'm going on the hunt. And I'm finding some of these goddamn bath bombs because I was like, this is a brilliant idea. And she's going to think this is amazing.
She'll love it.
Because she's not a woman that really wants for anything. But if I can give her something thoughtful and she looks at this thing and she's like, wow, like you're on the ball. So thanks a lot, Tanner. This is my mission for the next 2 days.
Well, let me know where you find them, bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I've learned more shit about weed since I met Bryce and now having you on than ever. Man, the the cannabis industry is moving a bit above and beyond the fucking, the head shops for people to just get high. The medicinal advantages are most certainly there. I learn more and more about it all the time. Yeah, so here we are standing on the edge of New Year's. We're all going to get high as fuck New Year's Eve, I think. I want to kind of ask everybody, and I'd like to engage the audience here as well. Highs and lows of 2021, and it doesn't have to be political. It can be personal highs, personal lows. Since we're talking about getting high, let's talk about that, personal highs, and a couple high points, low points. Whether it's something that's happened within the country, within the planet. COVID's obviously the big one. What do you guys think about that? And Tanner, you're our special guest, dude. So give me some highs and lows of the last year for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd say the highs we went through on this podcast. It was, just the team killing it and doing a great job, and us putting products out and people loving them. So that's been my high through all of 2021. I'd say my lows. My low is definitely the discourse throughout this pandemic of, fellow man to fellow man, and the alienation of people who are concerned with getting vaccinated, and then currently what's going on right now in the realm of just really divisive kind of mantra and tactics to bring people into something that's supposed to be safe for them, and whatnot. So I mean, that's really been my ongoing low. It's the incoherence of, not to get political, but I guess it is political by default. But the incoherence.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that incoherence of the provincial governments and the federal governments and the global governments and the governments between each other, and the rhetoric or the lack of rhetoric, throughout this whole thing, just really a unwillingness to listen to each other and be concerned with each other. So that's been my big down for 2021.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there, Tanner. Because the only shots I'm having are bourbon. So there you go.
There you go. Tanner, Kel's got a quick question for you here. I want to give you the floor to answer that.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not gone at all. I wish the stigma for great question. I get up every day and feel like the stigma is gone and it's over, because that's how I feel. But then I go and, take some topical creams to some of my closest family members, and I see this like hesitance and fear around this pain cream that I've just handed, an aunt, as an example, who I love. And I'm like, here, take this. It'll make you feel better. I want you to feel better. It's not going to get you high. And then I try to explain, the opioids and opium. Opium is how opioids are made. And I try to say, cannabis, cannabinoids, these are constituents of a less dangerous drug. But, I start saying these types of things to somebody who's been traumatized / brainwashed for 70 years that weed bad, right? I'm not contending with something complicated. I'm contending with 70 years of consistent messaging that this is the worst shit that has ever existed. So
That's right.
100% propaganda.
Yeah,
That's the same
100
generation.
years.
Because I'm that guy, right?
Yeah.
It's the same
But I'm getting over it, though. I'm getting over it,
It's the same generation of your grandmother probably cooks the fucking shit out of pork.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that generation of people, like even my dad, well, he's into weed big time now. He's like, fuck it. But
Yeah.
my grandparents would not have been those people. It's just
Well,
because we've been programmed forever that it's fucking evil, you know?
well,
It's a joke now.
yeah, it's true. It's truly institutionalized, right? So like, you're taught, you're just, captured into the system of, if a doctor says jump, they're right. They're the doctor. They always know what they're talking about. You don't know, but they always know, right? So you're in that system, and you've been taught, don't worry about those other things. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And you think about that generation too, Chris. Like I'm sitting at my kids are 7 and 5. I don't know if this is the right way, but this is the way the world is now. My son says, "Dad, how does this work or whatever?" We're watching a YouTube video about teeth rotting out of somebody's head. He's like, "What are cavities?" I'm like, "Let's have a look, and I'll teach you what cavities are." Versus the old generation, our parents and our grandparents, which are like, don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. Just I said this. Go over there. You don't need to know that part of it. That's how they were raised. The doctor says, you take this. Don't worry about nothing else. Just do what I say.
And that's just it, right? Like fuck, man. Like watch Little House on the Prairie. If somebody was pregnant, they got pregnant, they were having a kid at home, and the first thing they did was get a bucket of hot water and some leeches, and that's how they fucking did shit.
Yeah,
it's gonna take. Yeah. It's going to take a generation or two.
Yeah.
Before, like, your kids, how old are your kids, Tanner?
5 and 7.
Right. They're going to grow up and it'll be a joke. You remember when marijuana was illegal? Like, fuck, man. They're going to laugh their ass off, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm talking about prohibition. It's a fucking, like, what? You couldn't get booze? Are you fucking kidding me? So it'll be like that. It's going to take time.
But that's what it's like, though, Chris. Like, we have these, people, doctors, whoever, and they have this belief that they have more of a vested interest in my health than I do. I'm like, no, I'm afraid you don't. So you need to take a seat. Like, so the Canadian military, because I'm currently serving, they believe that now, and we've all got our different opinions on things, right? But they believe that chiropractors are like fucking witch doctors. So I'm a paratrooper, so I jump out of airplanes.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what a paratrooper is, so and exiting the aircraft is lovely. It's when you fucking body check the earth on the other end that sucks. So after you do a few of those things, like I've had some bumps and bruises. I haven't had any gnarly landings, but I've had a few rough landings, and I had some hip problems, and my wife was like, listen, because she's a fucking hippie. She's like, listen. She's like, go see a chiropractor. And I'm like, don't tell me my business, devil woman. So after about 2 weeks, I was like, all right, who's this chiropractor, witch doctor motherfucker? And I went, and sure enough, it actually helped me. And this was in 2006. So this is when I, wheels are turning. I'm like, I need to start investing in my own mental and physical health. And although the military would not pay for this, I was paying out of pocket to make sure that I was looked after, which is why my medical file in the military right now is about as thick as a cigarette paper. But when you bring that, so if I've got like shoulder and back problems, I'll go to the base hospital and they'll send me to physio. But if I bring up a chiropractor, they're like, you're a crazy person. And it's the same thing with currently serving guys. Currently serving cannot use cannabis. Veterans can use cannabis, but currently serving, they'll run you out of the military if you are using cannabis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's the difference between like, the entire our medical system, the entire system is set up as a reactionary force. It's a reaction to an already an issue that's already there. So then they say, here's the pill. It's too late. It's done. It's over. Right.
Nothing preventative. Nothing preventative.
Yeah. Yeah. And cannabis by nature, by default, is and can be preventative because it does a few other things as at the same time as relieve pain. Like, so when you talk about a cancer patient, I just had a cancer patient. Actually, you know what, guys? I can tell one of these stories now. I gave I did a Rick Simpson regiment, of normal cannabis oil. I finally realized that Rick Simpson oil is actually cannabis oil that people called Rick Simpson oil. But anyways, I put a person on the Rick Simpson regiment, and it was an extracted cannabis oil out of my personal medical grow. Not this summer, but the summer before. Full 90 days capsules, and she took it all, 3 capsules a day, and she had rectal cancer, and the doctor at the end of and this was just recently, this is in the last like 4 months, she called me 2 weeks ago to tell me that the doctor said they'd never seen a tumor shaped quite like that, like it flattened out in a real weird way, and was gone. It was almost completely gone. But she was doing chemo at the same time. You know what I mean? Never in a million years would I personally recommend and say, hey, take this cannabis regimen and don't take this other stuff. Not qualified, but I am confident to guide a patient potentially, if their doctor says it's okay, to take this cannabis regimen potentially in place of every other pill that they were supposed to be taking. And she did exactly that. She took this cannabis oil regimen. She had no painkillers, none, 0. She slept, she ate, she rested, and she had an appetite throughout that 90 days while she was on chemo, and took none of the other shit. So no painkiller, no opioid, no irritable bowel syndrome pill, right? No IBS pill, no sleeping pill, because you get the first 2 and then you get the sleeping pill, and now you're on this other shit storm. And she took that instead of all that other shit. And at the end of the day, she felt great the whole time doing it. And this is what she told me, her exact words, because I asked her to report back on it to me. And man, did that feel amazing. And she just felt good the whole time. And that was just the minimum goal. The minimum goal was it wasn't to cure her cancer. It was, hey, will this make you feel good while you're going through literal hell? And it did. And this is where the proof comes from, right? It's from the real world. So
yes, absolutely. Those kind of things are always great to see.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, Chris.
Oh,
Yeah, that guy. I was saying, it's amazing, and it's stories like that will help break that stigma a bit. That we've kind of tangent back onto this, and that's fine. I don't give a fuck. We can talk about whatever we want. So yeah, man, I agree 100%. It's gonna just take time, and it's gonna take examples of successes for people to realize that it is a viable alternative to things that are not good for you. And it needs to become mainstream, but that'll take time. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, it's a marathon. I mean, 10 years, in 10 years. I mean, hey, the good news is, pharmaceutical companies are being brought down right now, right? They just shut down a company called Purdue in the United States. They got sued into oblivion for it being proven that they knew their opioids were killing people, and they were pushing them just like candy. And, of course, the Purdue family is fine, and they just bankrupted the company, and the family still has all their money, as goes the real world.
Of course they do.
But the company's gone. At least we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch, there's a TV show with Billy Bob Thornton called Goliath. The last season was exactly about that, taking down big pharmaceutical companies that were making shit that was killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Amazing shit. It's moved so fast, and there's so much information. Like I said, man, I've learned more about cannabis, and I need these bath bombs in my life, I think.
I think we all do.
Morgan's going on the fucking hunt tomorrow, even though it's
game time. You've solved some problems for me here, Tanner.
She's got the wife's gift ideas, man. That's fucking funny.
That's good.
Valentine's is coming up too, Morgan. Don't forget, that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
buy a
Well,
year's
Tanner, you
supply of
just
bath bomb, dude. Just buy a fucking year, so get a subscription, a renewing subscription, and keep this shit
Yeah.
coming. And
Oh,
good to
buddy.
go.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got to get that
Um,
rolling.
Yeah. Highs, lows. I'm going to just give you a couple of my personal ones because I don't want to get into a COVID fucking blah. Like, fuck me.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. Shit. World Juniors are canceled. Highs this year. I took 6 months off work to get all this going for my own headspace and timing. To just fucking do something for me, something I wanted to do. And it's been really good, man. Lows. I took 6 months off work. I fucking got to go back to work. This shit doesn't pay for itself.
no, we just have to work on your benefits. That's all.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, we'll talk
Yeah,
about that.
man.
We'll fix.
Then you
Yeah.
don't have to go back to work. You served your country long enough.
Oh fuck. Yeah, we don't have enough time tonight. I'm sorry. I got to wrap this shit up. I want to thank you guys, Tanner. I really want to thank you for coming on and providing
Thank
this education to us. I appreciate that. We're going to definitely do this again, and try to get some more some visuals for everybody. So thank you guys very much. I got to wrap this up. Thank you for everybody for tuning in tonight. I know it's a silly season. Everybody's busy. Post-Christmas hangover, getting ready for New Year's. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, my crew of brigands, if you will, and Mr. Tanner Stewart, CEO and founder of Stewart Farms, your aquaponics cannabinoid fucking solution. Man, I'm never going to nail that down. So I'm going to punch it out. Thank you very much, everybody. How do I fucking do this?
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
On a low tech moment.
Thank-
Tanner, we'll talk again, bro. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you had a good time. I just want to quickly recap. Big thanks to Positive Mike. He makes the most fucking wicked beer on the planet. You want to talk about quality shit? Positive Mike's Brewing Company makes the best beer going. My fridge is slowly emptying. Bonzi needs to go home soon because he's just fucking smashing that shit. It's great stuff. Big shout out to my host, my boss, the head guy, Mr. Dean Blundell, deanblundell.com. You can check out the pod tomorrow if you didn't get to watch it today at deanblundell.com. And yeah, fuck that. I am done. I am out of here. Everybody had a good night. Have a safe New Year's. And we will see you in 2022.